Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Red Report, along with my very own brother, Anthony,
Hello,
special
everyone.
guest on the last show as well. How you doing, bruv? All
Not
the
too
way
bad,
from
bro.
Liverpool, by the way, lives up in Liverpool. Yeah.
yeah,
How you doing, bro?
yeah, not too bad, bro. To be fair, not too bad. Been liking all the news I've been hearing. To be fair,
Right, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into this deal that's been going on and on and on all blooming summer so far. Victor Gyokeres. Now, Victor Gyokeres went on strike, basically. He's told Sporting that he wasn't going to return to training. He'd done everything in his power to try and get this deal done. Took the €2 million wage cut. Even his agents have waived
yeah,
it.
I heard that as well. Yeah,
They're doing everything they can possible themselves to get the deal done. Sporting keep moving the goalposts. The latest news that I heard yesterday was that with the add-ons, there they want this like 63 million or something plus 10 million in add-ons, and they wanted the whole 10 million add-ons to be easily achievable. So they've had to come to some sort of arrangement. My understanding is that it's about the £5 or £6 million part of the add-ons is easily achievable, and the rest is a little bit more difficult, as most deals are. Most deals are when they have add-ons, but also the main reason behind the price tag and the movement of the post of that is because I found out as well that there is actually a sell-on clause for Gyokeres that Sporting have to pay to Coventry.
Coventry.
Yeah, so there is something there, and this is probably why it's took as long as what it has done. But hopefully, this deal is going to get finished today, tomorrow. The medical apparently is booked for tomorrow, and hopefully it can be announced in time for the tour. They're going on tour in I don't know, the Far East somewhere, Asia somewhere. I think they're going out on tour. They're going to be like Tottenham, AC Milan. I think I'm not sure the other games, but they're going on that tour, and then they want to get him ready, get him out there with them. They're training in Spain at the moment, but they need to get him with so he can go on the tour. If not, he's going to have to wait until they come back for the Emirates Cup and the other friendlies that are arranged there. But anyway, whatever happens, I believe it's going to get done. I'm pretty confident it's going to get over the line. But we've got to talk about the player and the system. I mean, there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of hate aimed at this deal, and people take the piss out of it because we play a possession-based football, slow build-up. They're just saying we're wasting our money. People from other clubs, and some fans are saying it as well. But it's something to think about because we are a slow build-up team, and we are a possession-based team. Arteta system. Is this going to? I mean, does this mean this signing Arteta prepared to change the system? Because apparently he gets 80% of his goals from penalties and transitions. Counter attacks.
Yeah.
So we don't play counter attack, and I've said it for years. Not for years. What am I talking about? I've said it all season. Why don't we try and be a bit more direct, a bit faster? A bit play on the counter attack, so we can hit other teams that sit in a low block. We can hit them quicker. So let them attack us.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
Go on, Lee. Go on. No, you carry on, bro. Go on.
Yeah, why don't we let the other teams have the ball? Let them come at us, win the ball back, which we're good at doing as well, and hit them quick on the counter attack before they've got time to settle into that low block, and then that'll suit a Gyokeres unbelievably. That's his game. That's how Sporting has been played. I mean, people are saying that he's only done it in the Portuguese league. He did get an hat-trick against Man City last year in the Champions League, by the way. I know there was 2 penalties, but there was he did score one in open play from a counter attack. Right early on in the game, there was a counter attack. If I remember rightly, he hit straight at Edison. But the second time he got the chance to get in, he scored. I mean, I think we might have to change the system a little bit. Possibly, I don't think he's at the age where he can be coached into playing, in a possession-based team. He is a counter-attacking kind of striker. So that is my only worry there. But I think the system's going to change. We're spending enough money on him, and I think they're going to change the system for him. And we've got to bring in Lawrence into the chat. Let's start with you, Anthony. What do you think of this deal?
Right.
And do you think it's the right signing, or do you think, would it be somebody else would be better for our system?
Well, to be fair, no. Myself personally, what we've missed for years is a fox in the box, and I believe he can be that player. It is. We play a possession-based football, but we've tried to walk it into the net so many times. It is unbelievable. If we've got that striker, like I've said it for years. After we left Thierry Henry, we should have got Jermaine Defoe. Now, a striker like that, it was someone an Arsenal system, he would score goals. Whether it's counter-attacking, whether it's possession-based, it just someone like that, it opens up options for both sides of the attack. Like at the minute we've got our counter-attack coming from the wings. If we had three going at that counter-attack, the options are unbelievable. And then, to be fair, you say we always play a possession-based football, which we do against the lower teams and stuff like that. But other teams, they come at us, and when they come at us, it'll be perfect for it. Yeah, you think of them times where we let late goals in against the teams like Brentford, Bournemouth, and stuff like that, where teams have just got a bit of momentum and they've come at us, and we've not had no one to release the ball to except for wingers. They've got to cut in we've got to still do work. Whereas if we've got someone running with them wingers, mate, we've got another option. You know what I mean? We've got another. Yeah, for me, I think he's the best out there at the minute, and I think for us to get him is an unbelievable achievement.
Yeah, I do. I hear what you're saying, but I'm a little bit, because I've done a bit of research and I've watched a few games. I've watched a few, reels and stuff, and I am sort of understanding the concern about this goals in transitions thing that I didn't really get until I actually started watching him a few times more. I've seen him 3 or 4 times, and Sporting won the league in Portugal, and out there it just looked really good. But then I was just thinking, actually, there's a lot of tough games. There's a lot of tough games. Every game's a tough game, basically, in the Premier League. And a lot of times last season, teams were sitting defending deep against us. Teams.
Yeah, but you think of them times where Martinelli's been released on the ball, and don't get me wrong, I love Martinelli. I think he's a brilliant asset to having our team. But how many times has he had to work from the wing, cut in, and go one-on-one with a goalkeeper where he's at an angle where he's already been beat? You know what I mean? Whereas if he's got someone running alongside him in that more central role, that cutback's always the better option.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time, it is. And when we get the ball to the final third, we like to pass it back. Whereas to be fair, if he got the ball in the final third, I think he would be looking at goal and not be passing it back.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We've had everyone for years. We've had someone that always wants to pass it, mate. Pass it, but. I think that little person that's just a bit greedy, that's what we need.
So you rate it, yeah? You think it's a good signing?
Yeah, mate. I'm over the moon with it. I am over the moon about it. I think for the first time in years, we've actually got a striker that is brilliant. He's doing well, as you said. He scored an hat-trick against Man City. Whether they're 2 penalties or not, he's still an hat-trick. You got to have some calmness, and you know what I mean, to basically do that. You're not playing against any rubbish players there, are you? Even the goalkeeper in goal, you're going against a world best goalkeeper.
Edison,
you know what I mean? So
great penalties as well, though. To be fair, great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and to have the calmness, that's what we need in front of goal. We rely on Arsenal. We rely on our wingers and our midfield to create goals, which is great and it's worked for years. But if we got someone else who had 20 more goals to that, mate, we're laughingly.
Yeah. Lawrence, can you hear us? Is your mic working?
I can hear you. The mic's working, but I can't switch the camera on. Keeps
that's all
saying
right.
there's a problem with the browser. So apologies on that.
No, that's fine. Right, so what do you think about Gyokeres? We know it's going to get done. We know the medical all that's left.
Yeah, but they've been saying this for the last couple of months. And yet here we are, middle of July, and still nothing. You know, and as you know me, Lee, I'm one of these people who doesn't believe that a deal is a deal until the player is sitting at a desk at London Colney or at the Emirates signing his contract with Berta and Arteta either side of him, and he's holding up a shirt with his name on the back.
Yeah.
You know, this is what pisses me off about this club. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, when they sign a player, it's done immediately. We've got to sit around for 2-3 months before it is a done deal. And what makes matters worse is we've got these dickheads in our fan base who get so excited they post pictures on Facebook and other social media outlets with the player's face pasted onto an Arsenal shirt as if he's fucking signed already. And it's not the case.
No, absolutely. I get that. I think, you know, I don't agree with that. But I mean, everywhere, I mean, all the top journalists, the most credible ones, Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, Romano, they're all saying, Florian Plattsburgh, every one of all the top journos, Sammy Muckbell, they're all saying that this is completely the medicals tomorrow. So everything has been agreed. It's basically like, you know what Romano says. Here we go. It's
yeah, but saying here we go for the last couple of months about this deal.
Yeah, but
he's been saying this for the last couple of months, Lee.
To be fair, I do sort of half agree with you, Lawrence. I think to myself, we've highlighted ourselves a striker that we need. We highlighted that we need a striker. This should have been the first deal done. It should have been before Zubimendi, before Northard, before Kevin. This should have been the first deal done. So I do agree with you there. But yeah, to be fair, it's. I understand. It's if it was in January now or something like that, I'd be fuming. I would be fuming, but to know that he is coming and he's going to be here before we actually start or we actually kick to the ground, then it is. I just think it's better off coming to the days where Wenger was there and we'd be still waiting now for it and we wouldn't get no one until deadline day.
Deadline day.
You know, it's just part of the course. It's just part of the course for this club. You know, they drag their heels all the time. Every other club, they line their ducks up in a row. They sign the player, and as soon as they sign him, they post it on social media outlets. We on the other hand, we've got to drag the whole thing out for the whole bloody window before anything's done about this. You know, I mean, I'm just getting bored with it all. You know, it pains me to say this, but I hope this deal goes belly up. I really do, because it will just expose Arteta and the Arsenal hierarchy for the frauds that they are. Because this is not how you do business. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You do not conduct business like this. If I did business with a company and they treated me the way that Arsenal are treating this deal, I would tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're saying there, mate. Yeah,
but it is a lot of the reports coming out that it's Sporting on this particular deal. It's Sporting Lisbon that are being difficult, Lawrence. It's have you heard all what's been going on with the deal about they're reneging on the gentleman's agreement? There's plenty more to say.
Yeah, but Lee, you've also got to ask yourself, right? You've got to also ask yourself is why haggle over £4 million and yet blow 50 million on another Chelsea sloppy second?
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
You know, that money.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a second.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I get that. We are, but all I wanted to say was, I mean, I don't know if you heard at the start when I was introducing the topic, when I said about the set-on clause, they've got to give Coventry some money. The add-ons, they wanted all £10 million worth of, or euros worth of the add-ons to be easily achievable, which never happens in any add-on contract. Part of it's easily achievable, but then the rest of it has to be, has to be matched and has to place, what is it? Whatever they are. Usually it's like score 20 goals, 30 appearances, whatever it is. But, they wanted all 10 million of them to be an easily achievable add-on. And that don't happen. That don't happen in any contracts ever. And they were just digging their heels in, and they just was making it difficult. They didn't want to lose him, obviously. They, him himself took a €2 million pay cut. His own agents weighed part of their percentage of their bit of dough they're going to get out of it. So they've done everything they could, and Sporting kept digging their heels in. So it ain't completely the club's fault in this deal, but they could just, as you said, they could just say, "Oh fuck it, yeah, I'll take the money," instead of spending the money on a player we're going to talk about next. Just catch up with the chat quickly, and then we'll move on, and we'll talk about that particular player, Lawrence. And you can start if you want. Last time Arsenal hired a rookie manager was Billy Wright, and look how that ended. Billy, I want to know. AFC always, Billy Wright, Lawrence.
That was before I started supporting Arsenal. I didn't start supporting Arsenal till 1968 when Bertie Mee was beginning to form the double winning team. But I read about it, right? That Billy Wright was a big name in the 50s and 60s, right? He made his name with Wolves and he became our manager. And it didn't work out for him, but the club didn't wait 6 years to fire him. I think it was like a couple of years before they realised he wasn't the man for the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't. Obviously, I won't remember Billy Wright.
I wasn't even alive.
No. I started following football properly in 88, 89. When we won the league at Anfield in '89, and my brother JB was a Liverpool fan. Our other brother. We spoke about this before, right? Didn't we? We was watching it on a Friday night around Mummy's, and it was very good for me anyway. So I remember George Graham, Stuart Houston, Bruce Rioch, Arsene Wenger, obviously.
To be fair, the similar for me. To be fair, me it was the early '90s. To be fair,
even Rory, AFC. Shop sells a Snickers bar for £1. Petrol station sells it for £2.50. If you're hungry, you're going to pay for it.
It is right. Yeah,
every time either AFC. You don't want to get your pants pulled down every time. Like I believe this has happened on this deal.
Right. Yeah.
Bloody hell. I've moaned about it. I've done videos about it. What can we do? We can't fucking not. We can't just say because we don't like the player, we don't like the deal. We're stuck with it. It's a deal that's happened. Medical was passed. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. Where's he going to be used? Is he going to be used as a backup for Sax? An expensive backup, 52, 53 million. Is he going to be a left-sided player? We don't know where he's going to play. I'm not on it at all. Right, I think it's a wrong decision, and not only I don't think he's it didn't give me it didn't G me up. Oh fucking hell, we've signed Madawaki. What? No, it didn't. Yeah. Also, what it's done is it's given Chelsea even more money. How much money have we given Chelsea since Arteta was manager? How much money have we given them? How much is it? Someone tell me in the chat. Someone must know. It's got to
Well,
be.
to be fair, in the last two players in Havertz and Madueke themselves, only 125 million, isn't it?
It's got to be 200 million pounds worth of players.
Yeah, you got Jorginho, you got right.
Yeah, Lee,
I want
I'm
to be
surprised.
Go on, Lawrence. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, Lee, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that Arteta hasn't moved the club from North London to Stamford Bridge, and that we're going to be wearing an all blue kit, and we're going to come out to blue is the colour instead of North London forever. He's got this fetish about Chelsea. How many players have we signed from that club since 2006? And you can honestly say they've done the business for us.
None.
I can only think of 3 players.
None.
I can only think of 3 players.
Havertz and Jorginho.
No, none of them. I mean, the only Chelsea players I remember that have done the business for us were Yossi Benayoun, who we got on loan, right? And way back in the 70s, right? I don't know if you remember these 2 players, Alan Hudson and John Hollins.
John Hollins?
No,
those are the only
I think he became a presenter, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't
presenter
think
on the TV. John Hollins, yeah.
I think that might have been his son. I think you're thinking of his son, Chris Hollins.
I think Alan Hudson, he turned out to be a physio, didn't he? Retire at an early age because of an injury. I remember seeing a thing. I remember seeing a thing years ago about Alan Hansen, and he said one of the hardest players he played against was Alan Hudson. They showed a clip of him scoring a brilliant goal.
I loved Alan Hudson. Johnny Hollins was another one. I mean, he adored the Arsenal fans. Whenever the team came out at the start of the game, they started chanting his name. He would point to everyone in the North Bank. He absolutely loved us. But apart from those 3 players, every player from William Gallas right up to Raheem Sterling that came from Chelsea, who played for us, I wouldn't rate any of them whatsoever. And yet this clown of a manager wants to make a point by going back to the Chelsea well and signing another player. And according to my mates who are Chelsea fans out here, they're asking me, why have we bought him? Because he's not consistent and he always shows up late for training. Remember, who else used to do that for Arsenal when he played for us? And Arteta kicked him to the curb. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right there. I remember. Yeah, we was talking about that last week, last show.
So we've signed 6 players. We've signed 6 players from Chelsea in the 6 seasons. It is terrible. Isn't it? What we're giving them money for?
Yeah. There's another mate of mine.
I don't agree with it.
There's another mate of mine, Russell Hogg. He tells me he reckons there's a conspiracy going on between us and Chelsea. Because this just doesn't make sense that you keep going back to the same club year after year to sign their players who can't make it in their team. There's something going on as to why we're always snapping up their players and we're funding their transfer war chest.
Yeah, I mean, we can't be certain of there's any sort of conspiracy, can we? Like, we don't know for sure, but it does seem like that. It does seem. Why? I can't. This is one I really don't understand. I don't get it. I've seen him play a few times, Madueke. He's good with his feet, but I've also seen him trip over his own feet. I've seen him run through and he's sort of, he stood on the ball a little bit and then he's lost his foot and then he's fell over. I've seen him do that. It's like he's running too fast for his legs or something. You know what I mean? I've seen him do that. And that really annoys me, man. When we're looking at players like that and they're not good enough and we're paying that sort of money for them. Now look at Chelsea. Chelsea are in for Eze as well now. Going to be competing with us to sign Eze, and we've just given 52 million. They've just won the Club World Cup, and they've got 100 million out of that as well.
In my head,
that is one of the first signings we should have made this summer, right? That should be one of the first, not a backup keeper who used to play for Chelsea. That should be the first signing through the door this summer.
Be great. I think the striker should have been the first signing through the door. Eze. Yeah, but to me, the striker should have been first through the door. I'm right. Eze should have been there, to be fair, as well. If we're still going to get him, I can't see him playing left wing if the talks of Eze are still true. I think he's only going to be coming as backup now, Mendoeki. He did show good signs and everything, but for me, he's not not worth that much money, to be fair. Today's prices, you can't say whether he's going to sit in the wind, sit on the benches or not. You know what I mean, for that price. But for me, there's a lot more established Premier League players out there that we could have got for that money. Anthony Gordon and Langer. Yeah. You know what I mean? There were a lot more better players that we could have got for that money.
Well, we could have used that money to sign Rodrigo.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think myself personally, Rodrigo is going to be. I'd love him to come to the club. To be fair, I think once they've left the Premier League and come back, they never come back the same player. But I would love him at the club. But I think again, I'd rather a proven Premier League player that easy. And as I said, Anthony Gordon, Anthony Lang, someone who's been playing in the Premier League for the last few seasons. You know, I know they're a bit older than Rodrigo, but Ronaldo, Bale. None of them was the same when they come back from the Spanish leagues.
Well, let's just catch up with the chat. Eggy Bread Madawaki will play on the left wing. 52 million ain't going to be back up for Saka, says AFC always. Hand of Arteta. Rodrigo will be an Arsenal player come next season. I'm not a big fan of the Madawaki signing, but I will give him a chance to prove me wrong. If we manage to sell players, we could be going for Eze. That's something we're going to talk about as well, hand of Arteta, about who do we think is going to be leaving the club as well. We're going to get onto that. Last season, Eggy Bread Matawaki scored 7 goals. Martinelli scored 8 goals. Eggy Bread Matawaki.
I can't. See, to be fair, I hope he comes to the club. I really do hope he comes to the club. But if we're paying 50 million for players, mate, then I don't think we should be paying that for first starters. To be fair, not if not.
That's a problem Arsenal have got. We're going to get onto it, but we don't get big money for players. We don't get fucking big money for players, and we're going to get onto that. Eze only wants Arsenal, just like Arsenal is Rodrigo's top priority. Where did he play for? Who did he play for before then, Anthony? I can't remember.
Did he play for Leeds? He played for Leeds.
Rodrigo, did he?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of another Rodrigo. I don't think it's the same player.
I'm sure it is.
So we all agree on this Madawaki is not a great signing. I mean, obviously AFC always doesn't like it either. Anna Arteta in the chat says, look, we've got him there. Basically what I said at the start, right, we've got him there. I'm not happy about it, but we've got, we'll just see what happens. Let's just see what happens and let's see. I mean, I want to be proved wrong. Well, I want to be proved wrong on him. I don't want him to foul. I want him to come on. I want him to come on and smash it and surprise us all. That's what I'm hoping for. But
me too. I mean, I'll give him a chance, Lee. But I feel Arteta's signed his own death warrant with this signing because if this goes,
I would just right. So I'd just like to say I was wrong about that. It was a different Rodrigo. I do apologise. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, if this goes belly up, Lee, Arteta will be out in October. Mark my words. Because this will be the straw that will break the camel's back.
Yeah, fingers crossed. listen, I'm going to say fingers crossed it doesn't, because it's not like I want to keep Arteta, because obviously I want to see us succeed. Right, but because then what had happened? If they sack Arteta in October, November, towards the halfway stage of the season, it might be too late by then to turn things around. We might be able to win an FA Cup with another manager because that don't start till January. But I want the league, bro.
Yeah.
I want the league.
There's nothing else out there.
I want the Premier League.
Me too.
I know we've not won the Champions League. I know we've not won it. It'd be nice to win that, but the most important trophy, the most important competition in my eyes, to me, is the Premier League. But then it's the FA Cup. I don't really care about the Champions League. The FA Cup to me is so prestigious. It's more prestigious than the Champions League in my eyes. I know financially it's not, but it's the oldest cup competition.
But it is for us because we're English. It is for us because we're English. Other clubs around the world, like other leagues and that around the world, they don't really do it like we do. You know what I mean? It's like I know there's a lot of playing things, and a lot of things going on, but you can have like a conference team playing a Premier League team and stuff like that, but you don't really get that in other leagues.
No, that's what I mean.
The people don't understand why we rate the FA Cup so much, but that's because we're English. It's the oldest cup in the world, and you know what I mean.
It's a special league.
It's started here.
Yeah, but
it is. I like it.
I don't want to be a doom and gloom merchant, but I feel it's going to be another season where we're going to be wearing that stupid all white kit in the third round, and we'll get knocked out again.
I'll get the premise behind it. I'll get the premise behind it. No red. It's about stabbings or something, isn't it? It's
don't get me wrong. I support it. I support the premise behind it. But again, mate, they can't play in that white kit.
Tottenham kit to me. It feels like a Tottenham kit.
Lily whites, isn't it? Lily white kit.
I mean, it's bad.
I respect the premise behind it. It's about the stabbing. It's about the stabbings for teenagers. No more red in London. That's what it means. No more red. So it's about no more blood. So that's why they wear all white kit.
A white kit. It's bad enough we've got a white kit as the third kit next season.
I've seen it. It's disgusting. It is filth, mate.
I haven't seen it, to be fair.
What would Tottenham fans be saying if they had a third kit that was red?
Oh, they wouldn't be too happy.
They had meltdown. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you remember this, Lee, but a few years ago they had a meltdown because their shirt sponsor was printed in red. I think it was Thompson Airlines or something, but their logo was red on their white shirt, and they were having a fucking meltdown about it.
Yeah, that was it. The holiday company, wasn't it? Thompson's.
Yeah,
the holiday company. Yeah,
I remember that. To be fair.
Right, let's just catch up with that. Top Gooners in 9 months. Top Gooners in 9 months' time this season might be over, but the next one belongs to us. Oh, we've been saying that for 3 years, haven't we? We've been saying that for 3 years.
Yeah, we have. To be fair,
I want the trophy about next season. You want us to lose? AFC always. You actually want us to lose? Really? We don't want to lose, mate. I know you don't like. I get it. I don't like Arteta, but we don't want to lose, bruv. We're playing it in pops. But all right, it's not gonna. We understand that. We don't. I'm not.
Mate, to be fair, I think.
Oh, you think?
Hoping and praying for the kids.
1 minute, Anthony. Let me just address this, son. I've read that wrong, so I've got to apologise for AFC Always. I thought you were saying that you wanted him to bottle it. You trust he's going to bottle it. Okay, I've got to apologise. Sorry, go on. You carry on, mate.
I was just saying. I can't remember what I was saying there. To be fair, but to be fair, I think we can't sack him in mid-season. We need to. It's no one's going to come mid-season and change us and light the world up for us. If we're going to get rid of a player, we're going to get rid of him. We need to get rid of him now, or wait to the end of the season. He's got. Listen, as you said, we spent £1 billion now. We spent £1 billion now. This season is no excuses. We've got to come back with something.
But if we get off to a bad start this season, as I envision, right, and we're 12, 13 points behind Liverpool, Man City, and the season's done and dusted by the beginning of October, do you think it's fair that we keep him till the end of the season? I don't think so.
Well, to be fair, I'll say, mate, to be fair, I'm on it. I think he'd upset the team. I don't want to. Everyone, when you break up something like that, yeah, we're playing as a team at the minute. No one can say no matter we're playing bad, we're losing or whatever. He's built a team, and as soon as we take him out of that team will go. So our team won't finish strong.
I disagree. Huh? I disagree. There's been times when the manager's been sacked halfway through the season, and the new manager bounced, and they've gone boom, we've gone flying up the league.
Yeah, I've seen it myself, but that's when they're out to impress. They're going out to impress. These players we've got now, he's built this team. He's built this relationship. These are playing for him. Right, they might not be doing their job. We might have a few missing links, but these players are playing for him. It's just like when Ferguson left Man United. Yeah, David Moyes is there. Mate, no one's going to play for David Moyes over Ferguson. Ryan Giggs is in the dressing room laughing at him, so basically saying, "I've got more medals than you, mate. What have you done?" You know what I mean? We need someone there who can keep that team going, and then it needs a transition period.
If the manager's
for me, that is.
If a manager's good enough, you don't really
to be fair. To me, yeah, I don't think there's any good Premier League managers out there at the minute either. Not to take over for him.
Yeah.
Every manager you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah, go on,
mate. What did you think about the geezer who defaced the murals outside the stadium the other week? You think it was?
Arteta out on there? That? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't support it. No, I support Arteta out, but I don't support doing that. I don't support the
vandalism,
the criminal damage. Do you know what I mean? I don't support that. That's like a petulant child. Don't do things like that. But I do support. I don't want Arteta to be the manager of the club. I don't. But there's, I don't support graffiti and defacing. I mean, what's he achieved? All he's going to achieve, if he gets caught, he's going to get nicked. What's he achieved?
I think he's just trying to send. I think he's just trying to send a message to the Cronkies about how us fans feel.
Yeah, but
because that's the only way.
They've got social media team. The Cronkies know. They're not stupid. They're not stupid, man. I don't know.
Listen to me now. See Wenger. See Wenger. When the Cronkies sort of started taking over with Wenger and that. If they didn't listen to the fans then. I was at Arsenal Emirates myself and fans were screaming at Wenger for not getting up off the chair, telling him he had to go. And they want to get rid of him. You know what I mean? It's not. They don't listen to the fans about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. There was even an airplane flown over the Emirates with the Trail banner, weren't there? Do you remember that, Lawrence?
No, that was that was at West Bromwich Albion. That was at the Hawthorns.
I was at the Hawthorns. I thought it was at the Emirates. There was one at the Emirates as well.
Because there's a flight restriction over the stadium at the Emirates. You know, no planes are allowed to fly over the stadium. It was at the Hawthorns.
Okay, you've got me. I got it wrong then. I'm sure. I thought that was the Emirates, but obviously not. The Hawthorns.
No.
No, even still, there's stuff like
Well,
that.
it must
Protesting
be
what
more
they
than once.
doing.
Then. It must be more than once because I remember it being reported more than once.
Okay.
Let's just let's. I haven't heard about this AFC Always. There's a coach crash in Somerset. Was there? Oh, let's hope everybody's all right. Nobody's seriously injured there as well.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that, but thanks for saying that. AFC Always. Arsenal Football Club have had none of this when Peter Will, David Dean, what a partner of Wenger he was. David Dean and Arsene Wenger, they made a good team, didn't they?
That was quality then.
That's for sure.
Dean was the one who brought Wenger to the club, but from Japan.
Yeah, it was. Grandpa's 8.
Yeah.
Right, so let's talk about this player. What do you think of this player, Lawrence? Do you think he's here to fight for a place? Do you think he's here as backup? He's only a young player. He can play on the right side of the centre back position. So obviously, in my eyes, he's backup for Saliba. But he was in the first team at Valencia. So do you reckon he's going to be happy to sit on the bench, or what do you think?
I don't know. I've never seen him play, so I really can't make an assessment. I mean, I don't know why we're getting another defender, but if
we need another defender because we need strength in depth.
Yeah.
But Tommy
Arsenal,
you can't tell me,
when we spoke about this last show, mate, as an Arsenal fan, if you don't see that pairing of Gabriel and Saliba, you're worried. You know what I mean? We need that strength in depth if we're going to think about going anywhere.
But obviously, Tommy Arthur's been released because of his injury.
Yeah. He's coming in as a replacement for him. He's young enough, to be fair. I've seen a few videos on him, and he looks kind of good. But for me, them videos are only going to show you what you want to see. They're not going to show you your mistakes and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Any highlight reels could make any player look.
Yeah, of course they could. Yeah, that's how Liverpool bought Nunes on a highlight reel, I think.
So does that mean that Timber and White's futures at the club are questionable?
No, because I don't. I think they're right backs. I think, and obviously, so they can both fit in at centre back themselves. But I think myself getting another out and out centre back, it just gives us strength and depth. It's like Kiwa, you know what I mean? It's just that bit of extra strength and depth. If we got right backs out there, I prefer Ben White as a right back than I'll do a centre back. Same with Timber. And if they're going to go into centre back, I'm worried, and that's the truth. I am. But to see him in the team as right backs, I'm a happy fan.
Ben White didn't start too well as a centre back, did he? But when he moved,
not really. No, but he was unbelievable. Yeah. Even that goal that he claims was meant to be a goal, that was obviously a cross, but it was brilliant, and that came from right back as well. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But it was, yeah. But to be fair, for me, Ben White could actually be our best right back. Timber's good, he is good, but he's a bit too.
They're both. They're both injuries, though. They're both of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They seem to be injured together at the same time as well. They just stop them going out on the piss together. One falls over the other one.
Well, here's another question for you guys, for using the chat as well. Who do you expect to be leaving? We're buying these players. Is it Trossard?
There's a lot of talk about Trossard going.
Anthony, 1 second.
Yeah. No,
because when we talk at the same time, you can't hear.
Yeah, they obviously. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There's Martinelli, possibly Dubai, Al Hilal. Is it Al Hilal or one of them clubs? 70-odd million. Trossard could be leaving. Reece Nelson. Who else do you think there's some players that should be worried, or do you think it's just them? Reece Nelson could be going back on loan, but also Fulham might be thinking about putting in a bid for him. Crystal Palace are thinking about putting in a bid for him, apparently. Who do you think is going to be leaving?
Reece Nelson, I think he's going to be
Nelson.
going himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But I read about him not long ago because I had a quick flick through before we started on this. I read about Reece Nelson going back to Fulham on loan. Basically saying that, to get his money up because at the minute he's worth nothing in the transfer market. Which is obviously, well, it's not good hearing from him. You know what I mean? Especially with how desperate everyone is for wingers at the minute. And also, Martin. I also read something about Martinelli going to Bayern Munich and Serge Gnabry coming the other way, which we've been linked with him for God knows how many transfer windows. But I'd rather, to be fair, I do think Serge Gnabry is a brilliant player. He's world class, but would you swap him for Martinelli?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you really? Yeah.
Arsenal boy as well. He was at Arsenal when he was young.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, I remember he was. Every time he gets pictured out, he's always wearing an Arsenal top. But he's to be fair, don't get me wrong. I think he's a world class player. But how old is he now? He's got to be 29, 30.
Lawrence, what do you think, mate?
Again, going back to my thing saying about when they leave the Premier League, they never come back the same.
Yeah.
I was gutted when he left us. I was gutted. I thought he was going to be our next best thing for us. Gnabry.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about when Yeri being another Gnabry. You know what I mean? Leaving the club and world class. But let's see what Lawrence thinks. Lawrence, who do you think is going to be leaving?
Well, as Anthony said, right, and what I've been reading online, it looks like Nelson's gone. Yeah. I think Tomiyasu's left. Trossard looks like he's heading out the exit door, which will disappoint Anne Hathaway. Who else? I think those are the ones that are going to be gone. Maybe some of the kids in the academy will be gone as well.
Is what do you think, Fabio Vieira, Zinchenko?
Yeah, him as well. It's been a total bust. You know, we should never have got him. At the time, there was Yuri Tillman who was playing for Leicester, who wanted to join us, and he was a free transfer. But no, this clown of a manager thought it was better to shell out 35 million for a Portuguese midget who falls over every time he touches the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, well, KB Hakeem, hopefully I'm not slaughtered your name. He said Trossard should leave. I think Trossard should leave. I think if we sell Trossard, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Alexander Zinchenko, you know, we'll be able to get a Rodrigo. You know, then say we get 25 million apiece. That's 100 million. But we don't get a lot of money for players. That's frustrating for me.
I know. Trossard, we won't get 25 million for Trossard. We only paid 27 for him.
Why do we pay nearly 55 million, whatever it is, for Madueke? Trossard's a better player than Madueke.
In my head, he's more. Mate, what Trossard done at Brighton warranted him coming to us. You know what I mean? He was brilliant at Brighton for a few seasons. But what has Madueke done? What has he done? Right, he's shown a good few statistics. I think he scored an hat-trick in one game, and with a few other goals. But he's not done anything. Not to light up my world. Now, if you told me that Arsenal's going to Chelsea again and we're going to get Cole Palmer, mate, I'd be fucking jumping in the air. But at the same time, these players that they're not proven at Chelsea. They've not done anything. They've not, you know what I mean? They're not. Like for me, I don't mind Havertz. I think Havertz has come in. He's played better for us than he has for Chelsea. Jorginho, I don't mind again because he put in a shift for us when we needed it to. He wasn't outstanding. He wasn't a world-class, well-beaten player, but he was a player that was there that was solid for us. But, mate, again, six players in 6 seasons, and you can talk about 2 of them. That's terrible.
I'm not even talking about Havertz, Anthony, because I think he's shit.
No, I know you don't like him, but I'm just saying that it's as a perspective, 75 million was a lot of money for him because he was shit. But he's done better for us than he has for Chelsea.
Well, he scored the winning goal.
Yeah, no, obviously, but that was the only thing he's done for Chelsea.
Since 2006, William. Since 2006, William Gallas shit. Right?
Yeah.
Peter Cech shit. David Luiz.
I bet you was all happy when Peter Cech was coming, though.
No, he wasn't.
David Luiz, he was shit.
I'm not. Shit. Raheem Sterling shit.
He was shit, man.
All these players, they just came to Arsenal because they felt it was a retirement home for them. Willian, major disappointment. One goal
went to
for
Fulham,
us
didn't he, or somewhere?
in a whole season.
He went to Fulham and played for Fulham, but he did us, and then he went to. I think he's gone back to South America or something now, but he's trying to come back. Someone's going to offer him a contract back. I read the other day.
Well, he went back to Fulham last season.
Yeah.
Oh, was it last season? Yeah, he went back to Fulham.
Yeah, he went back to Fulham last season. It's as I said, why is it that we keep going back to the Chelsea well every time when we need a position filled?
Yeah.
See, I'm just hoping that he has brought him in as a squad player and not as. If we still get easy, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this transfer. If we don't get easy, mate, I'm not.
We've got to get 2 more players. I think Eze.
Well,
we get
Chelsea
Eze
are after him now.
Chelsea are after him. Yeah, Chelsea are. Well, I've heard that today.
But to be fair, I heard that he wants to come back to the club that he started.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard that he prefers Arsenal. You hear all the rumours.
Yeah.
I don't know how true they are. But anyway, let's just go back to the chat quickly. Luca talks Dons. How you doing, sir? When do you think you sign Gyokeres? Sorry. Well, Gyokeres' medical's tomorrow, apparently. This is what I've heard. I think if we get Eze, we still need Rodrigo as well. We need both of them. And I think if we get Eze and we get Rodrigo or an Anthony Gordon, we linked to him as well, apparently, left winger. I think it'd be a good window overall.
Right. If we was to get Eze and another left winger on top, then I'll be over the moon, to be fair. But with this man Gyokeres signing, I can't see us getting another winger on top.
It is a bit. It is a bit optimistic, But I mean, we've said in players as well. We could get the money. We've obviously got money.
Yeah, I understand that. I do understand that, but. I don't know. Yeah, to be fair, in my head, this Gyokeres, if he has to come in, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. He's back up for both. You know what I mean? He can also play down the middle. That's what I think in my head. That if we got him now, we're not going out for another left winger. He'd rather be a starter and Martinelli's backup, or Martinelli and him, to be fair. If we get easy, I think he's better off in the centre, the attacking midfield role, to be fair.
Yeah.
But he can also play on both wings. So,
yeah.
For me, it's,
I don't think we'll swap Trossard for him, Luca. I don't think. I think
that won't be a bad chat, to be fair. They knock some money off and it'll give Crystal Palace a player that they need.
They're interested in Reece Nelson, so that would be a swap deal, a player plus cash for Eze. Give him Reece Nelson.
Yeah, but to be fair, if we use Crystal Palace's manager, I think that gives you the option. You got a decent player there who's Premier League, and you ain't got to go searching for anyone else. But it's whether they can agree the terms.
Did you pinch the dog?
What?
Did you pinch the dog?
I'm going to kick the dog's head in a minute if it carries on. I'll tell you.
Don't say immediately. Don't like that. Don't say me that he don't like. He don't. I think we need a winger. We haven't got that on the left. What? I think we need a winger.
We've got a winger on the left in Martinelli. We've got a winger on the left with Trossard. But we need to, if Martinelli could perform, we'll put them balls in to get them goals that we know he can at other times, then we wouldn't need anyone else. We could just have a backup player, but he's not showing the potential he once was. Myself personally, I think he should be moved down to striker and given a chance at striker before we let him go.
Who?
Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli through the middle. I don't know why. What do you think of Martinelli through the middle, Lawrence? Do you remember a couple of games that he played through the middle?
Yeah.
And I don't know why
he done brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he didn't get the...
I remember that goal he got at Chelsea, where we broke away from a Chelsea corner. He ran half the length of the pitch. He sold, I can't remember the Chelsea player's name. He sold the Chelsea player a dummy and went one-on-one with the keeper and slotted it in.
Brilliant.
And this clown of a manager he's got this fixation of sticking him out on the left wing.
Well, I think he should have been given a chance. Yeah. He should have been given a nod against ahead of Havertz. When we were sitting there for a striker crisis, like we was using Mourinho. Like we to be fair, he should come on. He should be given a try.
Yeah,
he definitely should. 100% should.
I mean, this is what pisses me off about this manager. He's trying to put square pegs into round holes all the time by constantly playing players out of their natural positions.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head.
Martinelli is ineffective on the left wing. His strong point is running at players.
Yeah.
You're
right. You're right. Yeah.
As we saw in that game at Chelsea.
Well, do you know what I'm saying about Arteta? Right, I was working in Manchester once. Yeah, it was when we basically could have beat Man City. We would have beat Man City. We would have done it, but they went out and ruined us 4-0. I think it was the first title challenge. I was working at Manchester University, and they were staying in a hotel right next to it. He's took them all out for a team walk. There's security everywhere. Right, the geezers have come out. They've said, "Oh, they're outside. I've gone out by the van." I'm going, "Come on, boys." Arteta told me to go away. He got security to remove me.
Yeah.
You think, to be fair, I live up north. I live up north, so you'd think that you're in the middle of Manchester. You just met an Arsenal fan who's cheering them on. You'd think he'd let them, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, to be fair, that Guna Garmen's put up about Kudus. I mentioned that in the last show. I'd rather have Kudus. To be fair, Kudus is brilliant for West Ham. Over than that new Mandueki.
We were linked with him.
Yeah,
that's
what I
another
mean.
player we were linked with a while ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. I mean, I just wonder what Arteta is thinking half the time, because his man management leaves a lot to be desired.
See, I know obviously no one's how you feel about him. I know he's saying it, but to be fair, I am an Arteta fan, because I think what he's done for the club as a club, from where he was when Wenger left us to where we are now, he's done brilliant. But he's just not pushing us over that final line. You know what I mean? He's not. I think to myself, really, this season now, if he's got the backing, he's got the striker that we need. To be fair, really and truthfully, this team that we've got here now, if we've got Odegaard performs in that for us, then we really wouldn't need any other player. To be fair, but if he put the team out right, if he put the team out right, I think with Gyokeres we could do it. You know, I think that's what we've been missing.
Yeah.
As I said, when you got
with due respect,
like when you got teams, when you got teams coming at us like Brentford and that coming at us at 2-1s, the only counter attack we've got is on the wing. You know what I mean? And giving it to Martinelli, who's one of our fastest players, and then getting him to do all the work from the wing to cut and bring it to the middle is just too much. And now we've got that player that will chase him down the middle. You know what I mean? It is. I think to myself that these are the games that we lost because of counter attacks, because of missed chances. I do think this player can give us them chances, can give us them wins the draws that we could finish off, and the 2-1 losses to Brentford and Bournemouth, and you know what I mean.
Well, with due respect, Anthony, I've got to disagree with you because I said from day one he was the worst man for the job. I never wanted him as manager. He was shit when he played for us. He was hanging on to Cazorla's coattails, right? All I remember about Arteta when he played for us was him missing a penalty against Fulham that would have won us a game, him getting sent off against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League tie, and the rest of the time he was injured. He was sitting on the bench. Right, that's all I remember. He was shit as a player for us, and when he's come back, he's done the same thing as a manager. His man management is non-existent. Right, all these stunts with light bulbs, sticking speakers around the ground to motivate players to play against Liverpool. You know, stealing their wallets. You know, at lunch. You know, getting a pickpocket to steal their wallets. You know, all this shit. But getting a dog to motivate the team and call it and it win. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, and what he did to Saka by playing him when he was injured, you know, playing him in a Carabao Cup game when we were 5-1 up, instead of taking him off and resting him, you know. And when the season was done and dusted last year after we got knocked out by PSG, instead of giving these kids that were sitting on the bench some play time, he totally disrespected them by continually playing players that needed a rest.
Yeah.
And you could see it in our performances. And that is why I want him out, because he's been detrimental to this football club. We haven't gone forwards whatsoever in the 5 years that he's been in charge. He's won one FA Cup with a team that wasn't even his, right? There's only one player from that team that's still at the club. The rest of the team are his players, right? He kicked Arteta. He kicked Aubameyang and Lacazette to the curb. And 3 years from that, we still haven't had a striker join the club. You know, and
I'm just saying for where he's brought us as a club is what I'm saying is. So before Arteta came along, where was we finishing? It was Arteta's first season. I think we finished 8th. Like, you know what I mean? He's got us back to the Champions League where we belong. You know what I mean? But he's just not pushing us over that line. You know what I mean? He's not. And if he's not going to do that with his backing, then I agree with you. He has got to go. But at the same time, I do think he has done. He's got us back to where we was before Emirates, where we was at Highbury every season. You know what I mean? We was challenging. We was in Champions League every season. Mate, when we moved to the Emirates, I don't remember that. I don't remember any of that until he come along. You know, and that's the truth.
Yeah,
we was lucky to finish 4th when we first moved into the Emirates, so that was lucky. Now, mate, if we finish 4th, I'd be devastated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just catch up with the chat. Go on. Sorry. Go on, mate.
No, you go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
I'm just going to catch up with the chat. Gula Gargamel, a regular in the chat. I don't welcome Noni Madueke at Arsenal. Stupid by Mikel Arteta. This is why Arsenal is a sinking ship. We should have bought Kudos instead of Noni Madueke. He wanted to go.
I said that last.
He wanted to go to Spurs.
Did he want to go to Spurs?
He did. He said that.
How much did Spurs pay for him in the end?
What?
How much did Spurs pay for him in the end?
I didn't follow it. I don't know. He gave me the ump when he said he only wanted to go to Spurs.
Yeah, that's dirty, isn't it?
We need a class winger. Yes, we do. It was 4-1, the City game, Anthony, you was talking about.
Was it 4-1? Yeah.
We haven't had a class winger since Alexis. He was more of a strike forward, wasn't he, Alexis Sanchez? He wasn't
Yeah,
really.
you got Saka there, mate. I'd have Saka all day long over the Sanchez, mate.
Would you?
Yeah, all day long.
How about you?
Saka now, mate. Saka now is unbelievable.
But so was Sanchez, mate. Him with Ozil, mate. Him and Ozil.
But
That season.
Sanchez done the dirty on this club.
Yeah,
that's why I would.
The biggest mistake this club ever did was selling Sanchez and giving that contract to Ozil. Should have been the other way round.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. But I just don't like the way that he left us. Same as like Ashley Cole, people say to me he was always being an Arsenal boy. No, he won't, mate. He traded us. Same as Sanchez did. Same as Van Persie did. They traded us.
Yeah, they did. All of them did.
Yeah, all of them did, mate. And I would never welcome them back in an Arsenal shirt ever again, mate.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to.
But can you see it from?
No, obviously, I mean, at the chance.
I'm not trying to defend Van Persie, right? Because I thought the way it was handled was unacceptable. But if you're at the Arsenal training ground and you see shit like Eboué, Shamak, Gervinho coming through the door, Eboué, another one coming through the transfer door, you'd want to fucking leave as well.
Yeah, I know, obviously, yeah, but I liked Emmanuel Eboué, me. I thought he was a decent right back.
No, I didn't. It was shit.
I never rated him.
He weren't as good as Sagna, don't get me wrong, he weren't as good as Sagna, but he put a shift in.
Marian Shamak. Who the freaking hell was he? Oh, he had a mad
Mate,
that was it.
He was terrible, him. And even when he went to West Ham, he said, "Now I'll show you I can score goals," and didn't do nothing.
He went to Crystal Palace as well, didn't he?
For me, mate, to be fair, we've not had an out-and-out striker since Giroud. For me, even Lacazette and stuff like that, they was all played on the wings. All played on the wings.
They shouldn't have been. They was played out of position.
They shouldn't have done that.
Hey?
Same with Podolski. Podolski, mate, we've known him all our life for scoring goals in German league. Comes to the Arsenal, we stick him on the left wing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll never forgive Wenger for how he treated Podolski. That was
I think that was wrong. He was shouting just to go down the middle as well. He was shouting, put me down the middle, and they never would.
Yeah. Let's see AFC saying things I want to see Arteta improve next season. Squad management, he's got to be better with the players. Absolutely. He ain't a good man manager. Yeah. He's not a redneck who would put his arm around you and, like, you know, try and look after
you. No, he's not. No.
He's a fucking dictator. He's a narcissist. Fluidity, especially in the way we use the wide players' performances in domestic cup, keeps dismissing the fucking FA Cup, the only cup he's won. I mean, I think we've had him past the third round twice since we won it with him. And that one was Oxford, United, and I think it was Palace the other time.
Don't forget he won the Charity Shield for us. Don't forget all them Charity Shields.
Oh yeah, how many Charity Shields did he win?
Yeah. I mean, he's won 2 of them, I think, isn't he?
What?
Yeah.
Has he won 2 Charity Shields?
I'm surprised he hasn't. I'm surprised he's never mentioned the Emirates Cup. I'm surprised he's never mentioned the Emirates Cup he's won for us.
I didn't even know we won one of them, to be fair.
You know what? Right, that was embarrassing when he said that in that press conference, because they said to him about winning the FA Cup, and he went, "What about the charity? What they called it now? Community Shield."
The Community Shield, yeah.
The Community Shield.
Yeah. How stupid is that? Was it 2 or 3 he's won? I think he's won 3.
Is it 3? I thought it was 2, but it might be 3. I think you got 1 against Chelsea and 1 against Man City, wasn't it? I think. Or they
2 against Man City.
No, 1 was against Liverpool. 1 was against Liverpool.
was 1 against Liverpool.
The other was Man
or
City.
Liverpool. Yeah, so it's 2 then. Yeah.
I thought did he win 2 against Man City?
No, 1.
Because when they won the treble, when we was, because I think when they won the treble and we was runners up, we had a charity shield match against them because of that, because obviously they won the FA Cup as well, and another time as well it was. I can't. I'm sure there was 2 against Man City. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I can't really remember. It's not important, is it? So that's probably why I don't remember.
No.
AFC, I know. The Community Shield's just a dinner plate for the dog win. For winning the dog. Yeah. All right. So I think this
I just wanted to let you know, Lee, who's next to arrive.
Who's next to arrive?
Hey?
I reckon
Who's next to
easy,
arrive?
man.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what players were. That was just to see what players were coming in next, but I think we've covered it, didn't we, with Eze and Rodrigo?
Yeah.
I think we got more of a chance of easy coming in myself personally. I don't think Rodrigo leave Real Madrid. Not at 24 years old.
When would we don't want him? When would we don't want him? He's not playing.
If they come out and said this, he said that now. 'Cause last time I see it, he said he was still in his plans.
No, they're going to let him go.
Are they? Then if that's the case, go get him then.
They're going to let him
You know
go.
what I mean? Go get him. But if that's well, obviously, that's what would you do? Would you go for Easy or Rodrigo or? Because myself personally, now this Mandueki's been bought, I think we'd only go for 1.
Yeah. I'll be amazing.
I'd love us to go for both. Mate, all I straight about is strength in depth. And Man City, Liverpool, they can always put on a second team that's world class, and we can't.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we can get both of them, it'd be brilliant. But you think the both of them's going to be costing 120, 130 million, surely, at least.
Do you know what? With this Madueke deal coming out of blue, this is a valid point. Because it could be someone that ain't even spoke about.
I'll tell you what, Lee. I'll tell you who's going to be coming next to Arsenal. Lord Lucan.
Lord Lucan?
Yeah.
All right. Next season when Gyokeres fouls next season, mate, we're going to go for Nicholas Jackson, I think.
Yeah. I've got this. I had this nightmare the other night that Arteta went out and signed Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Oh my God, I heard about that. Did you say that before on the other show that you was on?
Yeah.
About Dominic Calvert.
See, I heard of us link with him years ago, to be fair, but he's too injury prone. He's not. Yeah, he's not good for us.
So should we wrap this up then? I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover.
I just want to say, Lee, I'm a glutton for punishment because I've just shelled out $13 to watch Arsenal's pre-season games on their website.
Oh,
I must leave my head seen too.
Well, let's hope the players are going to be there. Let's hope this medical tomorrow, and you get to watch Gyokeres. You know, because I mean, you want to make it worth it, don't you? You don't want to watch Madueke.
No, you don't want to watch Madueke at all. It's like watching Arsenal.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's who it's going to be, mate. He's like an Eddie Nketiah and Yaya Sanogo's had a kid, and they called it Madueke.
I wouldn't be surprised if this drags on until the end of the transfer window.
There's a
knowing this
question for
club.
you in the chat. There's a question for you in the chat. What's your thoughts on Gabriel Heinze? Heinze, how do you pronounce his name? He's a ex-Man United player, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was left back for United, wasn't he?
What's your thoughts
To
on
be
him?
fair, I always thought he was a good player. Like, to be fair, he was a good player, but he's got no. Yeah, he's got no Arsenal ties to him, is he? That's
Don't
matter about Arsenal ties. Andre Berto ain't got no Arsenal ties. You know.
Yeah, I know. He's a businessman, isn't he? He's not really a footballer.
I remember when he kept chopping down Jose Antonio Reyes when we played them up at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Remember that game, the Pizzagate game? Him and
the
Rio
Pizzagate,
Ferdinand.
Yeah.
To be fair, I always thought he was a solid, good player. To be fair, I always did think. But
what's his credentials as a coach? Do we know any of his
I'm not too sure. Has he not been in Argentina working there? That's where he's from, isn't he?
If that happens, AFC always.
He's been in America. He's been coaching
in
America in the MLS. Yeah, in the MLS.
I will do. This show's called the Red Report, right? So I've got another show that I was on, and I know that one was called Red and Ranting. If that fucking happens, I'm going to put a video on Red and Ranting. I'm going to do a show like this, and I will be doing my nuts. I will be doing my nuts. I thought it was a scandal giving the shirt to
Nketiah.
Eddie Nketiah. What the fuck?
Yeah, they wanted him to stay at the club. That's why they give him that. That's why they give him that. Mate, I don't like it when they give players the number 8 or the number 10. I thought, you know what I mean? I think they should have went with the players.
Rights numbers.
Well, mate. They should have went with the players.
No, you can't.
I remember the first player I see wearing number 8 was Nasri, I think it was. Nasri, the first player I see wearing number 8 after him, right? And it sort of took me back a bit.
Freddie Ljungberg.
Oh, sorry, Lundberg. Yeah, so I forgot about him.
Yeah.
But, he
can't
didn't start as 8, did he?
Can't just keep retiring shirt numbers. It's got to be. Go on, Lawrence.
Yeah, I was just going to say on that post from AFC Always, they're not going to give Gyokeres number 9 because Jesus has that shirt.
I think he's going.
Yeah. Do you reckon he's going to go? Do you reckon he'll go in the summer? In this window?
No one's going to buy him because he's injured.
Possibly.
He won't be, he's not going to be injured. He's not going to be back until December, January.
Well, no. Fucking hell.
I've got a feeling that he's going to be released like Tommy Arsu. I've got a feeling it's going to.
Yeah, he might do, to be fair. He's a good enough player, to be fair, but he's a player that brings other players into the game. He's not an out-and-out striker, is he?
No, he does. He creates gaps and pulls the defensive part a little bit, but.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. He brings other players into the thing, but you need a bit more to your game, don't you?
All right, then. So let's going to wrap this up. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting us.
Eh?
So thanks for inviting us.
No, yeah. Anytime.
Sorry for arriving late.
No, that's all right. You had a little problem with your camera. That's no problem whatsoever. I appreciate you coming on. Next week we'll be back again next Thursday. I'm not gonna absolutely say I am gonna because I was supposed to be doing one last week. I couldn't do it. This week I nearly never come on because I don't feel too great. But I thought, listen, there's people that want to come on, and I don't want to let anyone down. So I'll come through it, all right. I am going to be going straight to bed because I am effed. But I appreciate everybody in the chat as well. Appreciate you putting your comments in. Stick a like on the video if you like the content. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, man. It's growing slowly but surely, and I appreciate everyone in the chat. Hey, what? Sorry. All right, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks for your contributions as well. It means a lot. So with that, I'm going to say good night, God bless, and see you hopefully next week.